All right. Come on in, my friends, my family, fellow cycle breakers. This is Pastor C. I am your breakthrough transformational coach, your sister, and I am definitely your friend. And I want to thank you so much for coming back to join me with another memory on this day 17 of 27 days of fire, the road to 67. So I'm back with another memory, and I just want to stop and just say thank you so much. And I know I had a couple phone calls, and you see the ticker going across the bottom. It's not because I wanted to, it's just I had a couple people asking me why I didn't put my Cash App up in case people wanted to bless me for my birthday. So you don't have to do anything, but just in case, I put it there, just in case you wanted a way to say happy birthday. So, anyway, I am back again with another memory on my road to 67. April 27th is my birthday. And today, I want to share, like I said, another memory because I know that the things that I've gone through, I've come to know that they weren't just for me. I came through them so that God will give me a voice to help somebody else. So every time I share a memory, I share my fire moment. And I told you, fire in the right hands, the hands of God, it burns out stuff that you don't need so the things that God puts there can grow and flourish. So I share my fire moments with you so that you will grasp onto something and prayerfully it'll be a blessing to you as well. So listen, as again, this is day 17 of 27 days of fire. And I need to talk to you about something really real. I mean, this is very emotional and something that could have really taken me out to the point that I wouldn't even be here today. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever been so caught up in your feelings, so determined to confront something, so locked in on getting answers that you didn't even realize that God was trying to stop you? That's deep already, right? That was me. You see, I was dating this young man who attended Fairmont State University, and we had been together maybe about a year, I think. And all of a sudden, he started doing what people say now, ghosting me. He just disappeared every now and then, right? He wouldn't answer my calls, he wouldn't return messages. And when he did, man, it was like quick answers like I was at practice, I was eating, or I was busy. And then, people like to talk, right? All of a sudden I came across a little tidbit of information and someone told me that he was seeing someone else at the same time that he was dating me. Well, this sister got really enraged. I jumped in my Volkswagen Bug and it wouldn't start. Now, I didn't see that as God at the time. In fact, I wasn't even a born again Christian and wasn't even going to church. I saw that as a problem. And a friend of mine came over or came up as I was trying to tinkle on my car like a brother. He was very protective and concerned. And I told him everything. And he just told me, he said, well, take my car. His car was a big car. I can't remember what kind it was now. And he said, I'll check yours. And right before I left, he said something really strange. He said, be careful when it rains because the back wheels spin on the car on wet roads. Now, it was sunny outside and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. So I shrugged it off and I drove away. And as I'm driving, my mind is racing, rehearsing everything I'm going to say to him when I get there, right? And not even 10 minutes into the drive, it started pouring down, raining. The traffic slowed, people slamming on brakes. Now I'm in the right lane, right? And the car in front of me, it slams on its brakes. People just drive crazy when it's raining. So I swerve into the left lane. And just like that, the car in front of me slams on its brakes. Wow. Now I'm trapped. I couldn't move to the right anymore. There was no space to move, no way out. And so the only place to go in that instant was to my immediate left in the grass that separated this lane of highway from the next. And in my panic, instead of hitting the brake and going slowly into the grass, I hit the gas. Now I'm flying across the highway. I'm not kidding you all. This really happened. And I'm flying across the highway into oncoming traffic. And I yelled as I was flying across that highway, help me, Jesus. And I closed my eyes. I closed my eyes because I knew that this was it. And then all of a sudden I heard it a big crash, a boom, my body jerked, everything in me just seemed like it just responded to the car crashing against other cars, right? And when the car stopped, I just sat there. With my eyes closed, I was crying, I was shaking. I didn't even know if I was dead or alive, right? And I don't know how long I sat there, in that car, but I know I was just crying. I refused to open my eyes. I was so scared. Everything in my body was just shaking. I mean, from my toes to my head, everything was shaking. And all of a sudden, after some time, like I said, I don't know the time spans of anything, right? I heard a knock on the window, and with my eyes still closed, reaching for the thing, slowly rolled it down because this car didn't have automatic windows, and I slowly rolled the window down. And when I opened my eyes, my eyes first fell on two legs that were clothed in what looked like uniform pants. And then as my eyes went up, I saw the uniform shirt. And then my eyes saw the police badge. And then it centered on the name tag that this policeman was wearing. And I kid you not, his name said A period for his first name, friend. A period friend, a friend, right? So he was just an officer, or was he just an officer? I don't know. To this day, I don't even know. He could have been an angel, right? Because what I saw next, it didn't make any sense, you all. None whatsoever. Where are all the cars? There were no cars on that lane of traffic. They had disappeared. The traffic I saw coming at me was gone. I had no wreck. I had no collision. There was no chaos. It was just me and a guardrail. Yeah, I had literally slammed into the guardrail, right? And he told me, actually, I was crying, and I was like, I wish I had been in my car. Oh, this is my friend's car. I wish I had been in my car. And then he told me, he said, if you had been driving your car, it would have flipped over that guardrail. And here is another fire moment, not the main fire moment, but this is another fire moment. How did he know what kind of car I was driving? He said it so certainly, like he knew for a fact if I was in that Volkswagen Bug, I would have flipped over the guardrail. I never told him what I was driving. I never mentioned it. You're right. God didn't just send me help. He sent someone who already knew. Listen, some of the people God places in your life are not random, they are sent. And not only that, He didn't give me a ticket. He didn't leave me stranded. He drove me to Fairmont, West Virginia. God didn't just protect me, He intervened. And I have to say, that like I said, He drove me all the way there, and not, just I don't think we had any conversation. I don't remember. I was stunned. You know how it is when you have an accident. It's like have a terrible accident, you're just out of it. And he drove me. I guess I had to tell him where I was going, and he took me there and dropped me off. You know, and here is the fire in that moment. This is what the fire revealed. God will interrupt your plans when your emotions are leading you somewhere your purpose can't survive. Look, I thought I was chasing answers, but Cynthia Renee Roman, because I wasn't married, I wasn't a born again Christian, I was running into danger. You see, not every closed door is rejection. Some of it is protection. If you want to, you can drop that in the chat. Every closed door is not rejection. Some of it is protection. And let me tell you, when I got there, after all that, the person I thought cared about me, whew, he was cold. There was no concern. There was no compassion. He accused me of spying on him, denied everything, although we found out later it was true, and he still broke up with me. After everything I had just been through, he left me there to find my own way back to West Virginia University. Now, mind you, the cop had dropped me off. I don't even remember how I got back, but I got back home. And there's a I guess I can say this is a different kind of pain, right? When you survive something traumatic and the person you thought would care doesn't, shows no concern, no compassion, no nothing. Listen, when that happens, you're shaken. You're vulnerable, and you just need comfort, and instead you get rejection. But that moment right there, it taught me something, because when I went back to West Virginia University, I remember getting in my bunk bed, because we had those bunk beds, right? And I remember just crying out to God. And the Lord spoke to me. I'd never heard the voice of God, but deep down within me, I heard him say, I have always been there for you. I have always been there for you. Listen, God has a plan for you. And the plan that God has for you will never require you to chase someone who can't see your worth. I'm going to say that again. The plan that God has for your life will never require you to chase someone who cannot see your worth. And I need you to hear that, not just in your head, but in your spirit, because some of you are tired, tired of calling, tired of texting, tired of reaching out first, tired of trying to keep something alive that other person just keeps letting die. You keep showing up, over and over and over again, hoping that this time it'll be different, hoping that they will see you, see your value, and choose you. But this is deep. Hear me really good. Let me just stop this real quick. Hear me, because you were never ever, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, you were never created to convince someone to love you, because that's not your assignment. And if you have to chase it, if you have to question it, then you have to really stop and ask yourself what is going on. Because what God has for you will not require you to abandon your peace, your dignity, or your identity. And I know it's hard, especially when your feelings are involved, especially when you've invested time, especially when you've seen potential. But potential is not promise. And some of you are holding on to what it could be, while God is trying to show you what it actually is. And that's a hard truth. And let me say this with love. Sometimes the reason it's not working is because it's not supposed to. Sometimes there are things that we're trying to hang on to. It could be relationships, it could be jobs, it could be any type of situation that involves people, right? We're trying to hang on to it, and sometimes the reason it's not working is because it's not supposed to work. God's not going to build your future on someone who refuses to see your value, right? You don't have to chase what's already assigned to you. And I know that means letting go. And I know that means facing truth. I know that means walking away from something that you thought would be it. But hear me, letting go of what's wrong makes room for what's right. Let me say it again. Letting go of what's wrong, it makes room for what's right. So if you know God has ever protected you, even when you didn't realize it at the time, I want you to go ahead and drop some fire in the comments, because the fire will reveal this too. God didn't block it to hurt you. He blocked it to save you. So listen, this is Pastor C with day 17 of 27 days of fire, the road to 67. And I do apologize for the phone that rang during my live. I couldn't stop it because, hey, we were live. But at any rate, I thank you so much for tuning in. And some of you all asked me as well, because Facebook starts taking down videos after a while. So you can jump over to my YouTube channel, Pastor C, and I put the link in the show notes, and all of the 27 days of fire, the road to 67, are listed right up under that link. So listen, I hope that I will see you tomorrow. Share this, tag somebody, message them, let them know that Pastor C is sharing her memories from 66 years of her life on the 27 days of fire, the road to 67. And listen, as you close tonight, thank God for what didn't work. God bless you all, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.